Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to another conversation on the importance of reading Srila Prabhupada's books. My name is Krishna Prem Rupa Das, here from ISKCON Zurich, and I'm conducting these interviews on behalf of ISKCON, the Ministry of Education. And today we are very happy to have His Grace Padmanayana Prabhu with us. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for taking your time. His Grace Padmanayana Prabhu lives in Sri Mayapur Dham. He actually originally is from Balasore, Orissa, or as we say, Odisha now. And he is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govinda Das Goswami. And he graduated from the Utkal University and joined ISKCON in 1994, and then served in different capacities at ISKCON Mayapur, in the guest house, book distribution, and then finally settled down as the director of the Mayapur Institute. Of course, he himself is also a teacher, teaching different courses, and is a very learned and Brahminical Vaishnava. So we're very grateful to have you here today about this important topic, and especially as an educator, I'm sure it will be very inspiring for us to hear from you, your perspective on the importance of reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Like always, we like to start hearing from your personal experience. Maybe you'd like to share with us how did your life change getting in touch with Srila Prabhupada's books? What was the first book that you actually read, and where did you got it from?
Thank you, Prabhu, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to share about the importance of studying Srila Prabhupada's books. And at first, I would like to express myself to you that this is a very important service you are doing, Prabhu. In fact, whole world should know about the importance of studying Prabhupada's books. Regarding me, when I was studying in college, I came to my home to take money. And on that evening, when I arrived in Mayapur, my mother and brother were preparing to go for an ISKCON program, stage program that was being conducted nearby my house. And then I went with them. I liked that program actually. I still remember His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was there and some other, Brahmachari devotees. And after that, I went back to my college. I continued my study. But somehow or other, I had a deep feeling in my heart that sadhu life is the best life because I used to visit a Gaudiya Math nearby where I was studying in college. And I could see, on those days I am talking about, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple, he had constructed one temple, Parvat Maharaj in Odisha. Mm-hmm. And the place was very simple. And whenever I visited, mostly I used to visit there in the afternoon time, because afternoon time you get little, free time to go out and get refreshed. So I would always, visit that temple, and it gave me a very nice feeling from within. Whenever I visited there, I could see the kind of vibration, spiritual potency, and I felt that is the way out for us to be 100% happy and satisfied. Anyway, that impression was kind of always keep running in my mind. And when I completed my study, I came to Calcutta for a job. And then from there, I came to Mayapur because I had the connection with another devotee whose name is Purna Purush, who was a Namhat preacher in our locality. And when I came to Mayapur, he actually helped me to join in the New Bhakta department. And then after 3 months, I reported to my parents that I am in Mayapur. But when I joined in ISKCON, that time only I got the book. Before I was kind of interested to join because I like their program, and I was curious about sadhu life. So then when I joined the New Bhakta program, at that time New Bhakta leader was His Grace Advaita Acharya Prabhu, and he gave me Prabhupada's book. He gave me Bhagavad Gita. And when I saw this Gita, normally, in our place, they say Gita. Even sometimes they don't say Bhagavad Gita also. In some places, they just write Gita. I knew, Gita. But when I came to ISKCON, then when Prabhu gave me, he said, this is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Then I opened, oh, this is something very interesting. Bhagavad Gita as it is. That actually intrigued me because as it is, there is no addition or subtraction. This is what it means. So, and Prabhu was our leader. He also kind of got me as his personal servant. So I was very happy. And then I started reading. And that is how I started. It was very natural in Mayapur Dham, in the association of Vaishnavas. And you got Prabhupada's books. What can be better than that? Prasadam, nice prasadam. Everything was perfect, I would say, from the day one.
Yeah, it seems that you, in a very natural way, you joined. Here in the West, usually people need a little more preaching to change their lives. Very inspiring to hear. But yeah, as it is, it was inspiring for you to see that Gita as it is. So you could feel it is an authentic, like an authentic version of the Gita. Of course, now we know you have been dedicating many years now in helping devotees studying Srila Prabhupada's books, not only the Bhagavad Gita, but the Bhagavatam and so many other books. What are the benefits of reading Srila Prabhupada's books just in general? What would you say to encourage devotees to read more often?
Prabhu, there is unlimited benefit, you can say. You can ask why you are saying unlimited benefit. Krishna is unlimited. This is how I see. Anything related to Krishna is also unlimited. I mean to say, there is no limit to the knowledge about Krishna. So this studying Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. These are our daily bread actually. Just like we can't survive without food. Similarly, if we want to remain happy as a human being, as a real human being, I would say like that, then I find this Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam study, our Vedic literature, especially Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures, they act as food for us. Why I am saying this is, of course, there are different levels of Vaishnava, and Shastra says Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Whatever platform one may be in, he can make his journey forward. I mean to say, he can grow if he knows about Krishna. Without knowing about Krishna more and more, one cannot grow spiritually. That's why when I am comparing the study of Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literature to our daily food, just like by taking daily food we grow. Similarly, the spiritual growth is very much relative to the study of these literatures. And this is one way we can see. Another way, as a sadhaka, we can say that when we want to cleanse yourself from within, study process acts as the best detergent to cleanse our polluted desire from within. Because the desires are there in our mind, in the heart. They bring up impurities, and they subsequently they put us in many troublesome situations. So unless the dirty is cleansed, we will not be able to be peaceful in Krishna consciousness. We will not be able to grow. And the another thing is, whether you say you dress yourself, you eat something, you see something, unless there is a taste, I mean to say growing taste, that person will not take interest in either dressing himself or herself beautifully day by day, or eating new food, going to new places to see more beautiful things. So in the root, the taste is very important factor. Similarly, the taste called rasa. Krishna conscious growth is somewhat related to the rasa taste in Krishna consciousness. And I would say like that, the taste in Krishna consciousness keeps on increasing day by day when we systematically study Prabhupada's books. Because these are not novel books or newspaper filled with dead news. I would say like that. Bhagavad Gita, the message contained in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, in all our Vedic literatures, they are full of lives. Either it is speaking about the devotees, Krishna's paraphernalia, about Krishna himself. So these are all eternal things and their life. Anything which is disconnected from Krishna, Krishna's devotee, Krishna's paraphernalia, or Krishna's incarnations, even we can say, they are dead matters, they are dead news. So since this Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they are filled with life. So it's a natural way we can see that when you come in contact, then your taste increases. And when you find taste, you obviously feel like, staying in connection with. Like when you when you like a particular food, you want to eat that food more and more. Very simple, because you have got the taste. Taste has to be there. We have to find the taste in studying, otherwise we'll not be able to study. This is what I would say like that.
It's a very essential statement that in order to grow spiritually, we need to be nourished and also develop a taste. Now, you mentioned about systematic study. And of course, in general, we speak here about just reading Srila Prabhupada's books. But obviously, there is a difference between just reading Prabhupada's books and actually systematically studying. And that's what is emphasized, of course, at the Mayapur Institute or other places like the Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education, that we come together and systematically study. How would you define, what does it mean to systematically study books compared to just read a book?
Systematic study involves aim. You have to have the goal.
The study aims.
Yes. And how do you identify the aims? When you know the goals. I mean to say, when you know the needs. You can define your aims, or you can say your goals, when you know your needs. That is how we see the systematic study. Needs are different for different individuals. Okay. For a grahastha, his needs are how I can support my family, how I can earn money to put my son in a very prestigious school, how I can be well recognized in the society. So these are the kind of needs. And then, these are the goals. Then he has to have the needs, that if I am going to become the successful, this is my goal, or you can say need also in this connection, then he has to work for it, the process. Anyway, that's in general, I would say, but in particular for us, as a brahmachari, if I know I have to grow spiritually, this is my need. Okay, why? The goal is I want to go back to Godhead. Then, what is that obstructing my goal? These are my needs. One way you can identify. That if I want to go to Godhead, go back to Godhead, now there is something obstructing on my way. So I need to understand what are those things obstructing me. For example, one thing is Vaishnava Aparadha. Lust, anger, greed. Okay. So these are the obstructions. And these are, I can say, if I don't address these aspects in the cultivation of Prashna consciousness, that is obstructing my growth to attain the goal. That means when I am studying, I need to address these needs. Okay, how I should able to avoid committing offenses in every sphere of my life. How am I going to control these 6 enemies? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, etc. So there are descriptions given in scripture. Then I need to prepare my note, write down. Okay. Krishna says, anyone who offends my devotee, he incurs anger in me. Wow. Krishna is saying, if I offend his devotees, that means I am attracting Krishna's anger. Okay, I should not do that. Okay. Another place it is said, nothing is more dangerous in this world than Vaishnava Aparadha for a devotee. Nothing is more dangerous. So that means that is the highest threat for me. Now, I know this is highest threat. Okay, then the next thing is, how am I going to avoid committing offenses? Then I know, okay, when you meet the Vaishnava, you be respectful, you glorify them, don't find fault with them, don't quarrel, don't fight, don't say some harsh words to the Vaishnavas, don't blaspheme them, don't even show your hatred to the Vaishnavas. So now I know these things. Then I have to see how I'm going to apply these things. So this is how, first thing is you identify the need, then you know this is your goal, then you come to the Avideya process. And this Avideya process involves you to making your plan Not only that, you are reading these books just to give a big lecture. This is a very interesting point also. Like it comes to the point of systematic study. Many times when we study, we feel this is for others. I mean to say, a preacher, when he is studying, he's thinking, how am I going to make a good presentation about what I'm studying? That means at that time, he is mostly concerned about what these are all about, talking to other people. But actually, systematic study does not involve that. Of course, that's the application part, but that comes later. The systematic study involves what is there in this for me. When I know this is for me and I am trying to apply that understanding in my personal life, after that I am going to present it to a group of audience, it will have a bigger impact in them. So this is called systematic study. Not that I am preparing some notes so that I can give a very, very wonderful, very powerful class. I can deliver a very scholarly lecture. I can give a scholarly lecture. No, that is not systematic study. Systematic study means you need to identify the main points. And why you are identifying this main point? Because I want to first of all apply it to myself. And when I know this is what I need to apply in my life, and I make some notes, then I, because I like it, it becomes spontaneous to kind of, meditate on this subject. I have found it quite kind of not spontaneous in the sense that, for example, when I hear some Bhagavatam verses or some verses, maybe you can say from any other Vedic literature, which I find, oh, this is what is teaching is for me nice, I can take this as a learning experience for me. I learned this thing. Then automatically, it gets registered in the mind. You don't have to extraneously think, how am I going to, meditate on this, memorize this, talk to people about it. No, it doesn't. You don't have to extraneously endeavor for it. It becomes spontaneous after that. So this is actually part of systematic study. People don't know that if I have not understood the importance of studying systematically, or if I am not doing systematic study, the subsequent part of the study, which is called mananam. Study means shravanam. The next part is mananam, meditation. Meditation will not happen. Our meditation is not like, you sit, close your eyes, and forcefully try to restrain your, consciousness to focus on a particular philosophical aspect or a deity form of the Lord. This is not what it is meditation about. We know Prabhupada's famous statement about work now, samadhi later. What does it mean, work now, samadhi later? Even if we are doing gardening for Krishna, we are cooking for Krishna, cleaning for Krishna, that's also work. And we are studying. Studying means I want to become a better devotee. I want to become a better Vaishnava. Yes, I feel like, I want to become a better Vaishnava. Then that is work I am doing. Samadhi will come. If I am missing the main part, that I have failed to identify how I must study to know that this is what I like. Oh, I want to kind of memorize this. I want to practice this. I want to apply this in my life. Then the next time it becomes natural for us to be in meditation about that particular subject. So in conclusion, I would say, first of all, we need to identify our needs. Then from need, we need to have the goal. Then when you want to going towards goal, you have the process. This process entails identifying the main points, taking the notes, and then after that, you have to look back to what you have prepared and see how much you are applying to yourself or how you can improve on applying those points, those principles in your personal life. And then you can go to, preach, you can share this. That does not necessarily you have to go to preach big classes. In our society, where all of us have friends, relatives, so we can share these points with our friends, and that is how we enjoy in Krishna consciousness. So the goal of systematic study, I would say, the outcome of systematic study is one becomes peaceful, satisfied, and happy all the time.
Thank you very much. I think that's an important point that you are emphasizing, this personal application. At the end of the day, studying Srila Prabhupada's books actually is meant to bring that transformation of the heart, to make us a different person. I remember when I was, as a young brahmachari, wanted to study, then the authorities told me, well, those who do Bhakti Shastri, they're just becoming proud and lazy. So there was a misunderstanding that if you just sit there and learn, and you only become, but that's not the proper understanding, as you beautifully described. It is the idea to actually, form a better character, to become a better devotee. So personal application. You also spoke about preaching application, to first apply things and then share it with others. In the study aims, one goal is also to deeply understand the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. That's one of the aims in a systematic study. And it's also said that, or Srila Prabhupada himself mentioned that he would forever live in his books. Would you like to, shed some light on this? What does it mean to discover,
Yes,
understand the mood and mission of Prabhupada? How does it work, or what is meant by that?
In Mayapur Institute, we have aim-based study. Personal application, preaching application, mood and mission, Vaishnava integrity, etc. So here, as you said, how to understand what is Prabhupada's mood and mission. I would stress on the same point once again. First of all, we as a sadhaka need to understand that on my own, how much I may try, what a self-intelligence I may have. If I am simply dependent on my self-intelligence and exercising my brain power to understand everything what Prabhupada has said, that would be my foolishness. Because Krishna Shakti Vina nahi tar pravartan. Or we can say here even, Guru Shakti Vina nahi tar pravartan. I personally am convinced about the fact that without being sufficiently blessed by Prabhupada, I'll not be able to understand the meaning of Prabhupada's statements. That means when I am being favored by Prabhupada's mercy, then only his words will be revealed to me. Now the next question comes that how can I get favor from Prabhupada? How can I get Prabhupada's mercy? Because that is the key point. This is what I realize actually. Why I am saying this is, for example, you are saying how to understand how Prabhupada's mood and mission is being reflected through his writings. It's not very easy to understand Prabhupada's mood and mission, I can tell you. Just by reading once or twice, one will be able to understand this is what Prabhupada's mood, his mission is. It's very difficult. So that means what I am saying is, when we are focused in our study I am honest in my attempt, that I sincerely want to improve myself, then after reading not only once, twice, thrice even, I would say, Prabhupada is actually going to reveal that. The proof is, many of us, we have realized this fact. Same book we study again and again and again, 3 times, third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. You are reading the same verse, same purport, but you are getting new realization. This is a fact.
Yeah, very true.
This is what I have realized, that when one is sincerely, dedicatedly studying Prabhupada's books with a desire to self-improve, Prabhupada cannot hide the meaning from us. Prabhupada cannot hide his mood and mission from us. He has to reveal it to the reader. So, on the other hand, somebody who is just simply trying to exercise his brain power, his intelligence, I feel many a time we may come up with wrong understanding. Because Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita, right? This is a fact, this is a process actually. We have to endeavor with the right mood, cultivating devotion, then the understanding will automatically come. So when I read, I always try to see what is there for me, in my level of understanding, try to understand, then go back again, study, then slowly I find Prabhupada's mood and mission become very clear. And how Prabhupada is present through his books is, see, Prabhupada is not somebody coming from the material world. That's why his words are very, very powerful in the sense, you read more means you love him more. This is what I see. When you read Prabhupada's books again and again, you love Prabhupada, you fall in love with him. When you fall in love with him, then Prabhupada reveals new meaning to you. The same thing, like as you surrender, Krishna reciprocates with us. I don't know Krishna. Krishna is very far from us. From me, I would say like that. But Prabhupada is not very far. Prabhupada is still there, and he likes us to study his books. How he's present in his books is that, in my understanding, when Prabhupada stresses so much about studying his books, and when we see how so many sleepless nights Prabhupada has spent to give Bhaktivedanta purports, if we are sincerely studying, means we are actually valuing Prabhupada's contribution, this is an obvious fact that Prabhupada is pleased with us. There is no super science needed, super explanation needed to see how Prabhupada will be pleased and how Prabhupada can give us his blessings. Well, in the material world, we have seen somebody, he published a book. When somebody publishes a book and so many people start reading, automatically that person becomes happy and joyful. And when Prabhupada has come with the very desire that he wanted all of us to study his books so that we can become a better devotee, our journey back home, back to Godhead is direct. And then when we commit ourselves to read his books, how can you say Prabhupada is not happy? And when Prabhupada is happy, automatically you get his blessing. So, of course, this everything I feel happens in a subtle way, that when we read more and more, then more direct realization comes to us. And that is the blessing of Srila Prabhupada. And many times it happens actually, like, when I read, then I realize that, understanding was not so correct before. Now understanding is becoming more mature. I can see this actually. And I feel this is coming by his mercy. It's not that, I know Sanskrit or I have a better ability to express things I have a better brain power. No, no. These are all material things, in my understanding.
I think from your verse we can understand how by reading more and more our relationship to Prabhupada becomes deeper and deeper. Thank you for sharing. I think I would also like to hear a bit about the Mayapur Institute. Before that, maybe just very briefly, some devotees may feel difficulties. They face some obstacles, lack of time. Maybe they're distracted when they want to read, or a lack of taste. What would you suggest to overcome the obstacle of reading?
You see, first of all, I would say in general, a general statement is all our problems, whether I am struggling to become a better devotee, be a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas, whatever, or I am facing some crisis in my management, or I don't know how to preach, whatever problems we may find in our Krishna consciousness, in our life, there is solution for all our problems. This is an universal fact. Then, as you said, sometimes there's no time, lack of taste, so many things are there. Why these things are coming? First of all, we need to ask this one question to ourselves: why I am here for? I mean to say, why I have joined ISKCON? If the answer is, I want to become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, that means you automatically know, Shastra said, if you want to become a pure devotee, anya vilasita sunyam, no other desire than serving Krishna wholeheartedly, means no selfish motive, no playing the politics around how to establish myself by using my position, and so many things. These are very subtle things actually, because ISKCON is a very big organization and there is a lot of opulence here. Opulence means it's like tie, it's binding us. We may say, if I'm doing it for Krishna, for the sake of saying, we may say so many things. What is going on in my heart? Only I can see, and above me, Krishna can see. Of course, Guru can see. Guru is also expansion of Krishna. That means if I am honest that I am here to become a pure devotee of Krishna, how can I become a pure devotee unless I study? I mean to say, without knowing how to overcome the challenges to become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, I cannot become pure devotee. That means my purpose is defeated if I'm not studying, if I'm not understanding. Okay. And another thing also, this is my experience. I don't know what about other devotees' experience, because I am a conditioned soul. I have to admit it. I know I am a very, very fallen soul. I have seen many times. I have heard something. I have read something. At that time I feel, oh, this is so nice. I have to practice this. Then after some time, it so happened that it is not being so much registered. It is not registered in me indeed. So then again, after some time, when I read that again, that it becomes like it becomes fresh for me, because I know I am a conditioned soul. Because of my conditioned nature, I tend to forget what I have read. So this the best way to keep us in contact with the fire of Krishna consciousness, so that we will not go astray from the course of progressively becoming a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. We need to study the same thing again and again and again. This is like constantly staying in connection with the fire to gain the quality of fire. So when I realize this is a need for me, right? Because I want to become a pure devotee. I don't want to, for the sake of saying, I should say this also, if I am greedy for money, because I want to have, many enjoyable items with me, without money, you cannot have today. And then you start somehow or other, getting some money and do all these things. Buy, very fancy laptop, mobile phone, so many things. Whereas you don't need to become a pure devotee. Whereas you don't need all these things to become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. What is your need? My need is just I want to every day, come for Mangalarti. I want to do my service and I want to study Prabhupada's book so that I can understand where is my mistake. I would say this is my actually kind of, my personal point, that I know I will always commit mistake. And where is the rectification procedure for me? The rectification procedure is studying Prabhupada's books. Because as a leader, I feel very often that somebody is coming and finding fault with my management, my approach, anything, right? By reading Prabhupada's books, it's automatically I'm getting rectified all the time. Because there is a lot of rectification measures are given by Prabhupada in his books, in his writings. So I know I should speak to myself. I find a lot of direct guidance for me. I find in Prabhupada's books in terms of, first of all, to rectify my character, to do my services with proper devotional mood, to be better devotee and deal with devotees in a Vaishnava attitude. And if I am doing management and administration also, I find a lot of skillful practices, instructions, which is all about Krishna consciousness and progressing in my Krishna conscious career. So then if I say I don't have time, I don't have test, first of all, you don't have time because you don't know what is the mistake you are making. That's why you don't need any rectification. That's why you don't read Prabhupada's books.
So basically,
I am convinced.
If I really understand the need and importance of reading, then naturally I will make the time and I will overcome the obstacles. That's what I'm getting from your answers.
Yes.
Yeah. If we deeply understand the importance. Yeah, maybe before we end, would you like to share some updates from the Mayapur Institute or in general? Of course, we know Mayapur Institute, it's a very important project. Srila Prabhupada wanted to have this systematic study, especially also in Sridham Mayapur. And you also have just also started building a new building. There's a new project that's coming up. Would you like to share something from your vision and mission in the Mayapur Institute before we close this conversation?
This is Prabhupada's vision. I mean, the Mayapur Institute is Prabhupada's mission, Prabhupada's vision. Prabhupada wanted devotees from all over the world to come to Mayapur to study his books. And at present, we are creating some more courses on our Vedic literatures, Bhagavatam, Satsandarbha, and many other books. And we are hoping that devotees can come from different parts of the world, stay in Mayapur Dham with affordable budget to pursue their Krishna consciousness. And for me, what I see is this is the most important service in this age of Kali, because this is happening in Mayapur. In Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Navadip Dham Mahatmya, he says, as Kali Yuga progresses, Navadip Dham will become fully bloomed, like a fully bloomed lotus. But other dham, they will gradually disappear. And now we are in Mayapur, this Mayapur Institute in Mayapur Dham. If we try to just simply follow what Prabhupada wanted us to do, definitely this Mayapur Institute will act as a very inspiring tool for the whole ISKCON devotees to find their shelter in Krishna consciousness. And in Mayapur Institute, my vision have been, let us make nice, affordable accommodation, nice environment, protected environment in terms of Mayapur Institute is not attracting any guests to come. We have more than around 10 acres of land where we are constructing the campus. So it's a very beautiful serene atmosphere. We want to protect the purity of the environment so that whether he's a brahmachari or sannyasi, even grahastha, whether lady or man, let them come. You give them a good environment. That environment should be such that the purity of the environment should be maintained in such a way that it should become self-inspiring for them. And when they come to the classroom, they should feel like it is very quite natural for me to study. For example, I can tell you, in Mayapur Institute, we have a nice kutir actually at present, made of bamboo, wood, and thatch roof. Prabhu, whoever comes to that kutir, many students they have said, Prabhu, just when we enter into this kutir, we feel like studying. I said, yes, this is Mayapur Dham.
I've been there.
So
I've been there.
Mayapur Dham. Mayapur Dham have been the hub of spiritual education since the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in some devotees writing, they said this is Oxford of East. So I would like to see one day this Mayapur Institute is being fully established in delivering the message of Gaudiya Vaishnava conclusions in a proper forum so that our devotees from all over the world can come. They can do study, they can do research work, and they can even deepen their sadhana and study by staying in Mayapur. And after that, they can go back to their respective places and preach and teach. Mayapur Institute also is thinking to have this setup established on our website where devotees from any part of the world at any time, they can ask us their philosophical doubts, and we would always try to clarify them with authentic Shastric references. Recently, I came across one statement by one devotee. He mentioned to me, one senior devotee in ISKCON, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an incarnation of Krishna. Why? Why you are saying this? Because you don't read properly. We don't read. Mayapur Institute should stand for its authenticity in following the predecessor acharyas to stand by the truth about our Krishna conscious philosophy. Let people know Mayapur Institute is the project of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted, he has said clearly, we are going to build a big institution in Mayapur where his books will be studied by devotees from all parts of the world. So this is kind of recorded. This is Prabhupada's instruction. That means I feel when Prabhupada said this, his mercy, his energy is already installed in this institution. And believe me, Prabhu, I am not a very educated person. I mean to say I'm not a very scholarly person. I am not a, what do you say? I don't have any qualification, better to say. Let us put it honestly. I don't have any qualification. But from time to time, every year I could see number of enrollment is increasing. Devotees are coming and they're appreciating our program, more and more. And we have got many devotees, senior sannyasis from all over the world coming and teaching. They also like Mayapur Institute. Like currently we have Subhak Swami, His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinas Nrsimha Swami. They are staying here in the campus. And currently our TTC course is going on, Bhakti Shastri going on, Bhakti Bhava going on. So many courses are going on now. And devotees are coming. So how they are coming? My statement was, I don't have any qualification to attract these devotees to Mayapur Institute. But how they are coming? This is Prabhupada's potency. Prabhupada's potency is working behind. So what I am trying to do is, in Mayapur Institute, we want to remain 100% faithful to Prabhupada, Prabhupada's mood and mission, and work to execute his desires through this Mayapur Institute for the whole ISKCON. If devotees they are interested to come to Mayapur, study, know, we will always support and help. So at the end, I would say Mayapur Institute is there for the service of whole ISKCON devotees. Anyone would like to come and spend some time here, we are ready to serve them. And this we will take as our greatest pleasure. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to share with you what Mayapur Institute is doing and what we would like to do in future. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Padmanayana Prabhu. I think from the conversation with you, we could understand that, studying Srila Prabhupada's books really brings us closer to Srila Prabhupada. That was what I take from our conversation. And also I could feel from your, sharing your heart also that how important it is to actually become a sincere, authentic Vaishnava by actually, studying Prabhupada's books and really trying to apply the teachings of Prabhupada in our lives. So it was very encouraging, inspiring to talk to you, Prabhu. We're looking forward to visit Sri Mayapur Dham as soon as possible again, and have your association and spend time at the Mayapur Institute.
And also, if you feel that we can do any courses with you, please feel free to talk to us. We'll always help you. That is our pleasure.
Thank you very much. So, thank you. And then thank you also for listening and watching our conversation. Let us all study and absorb deeper in Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare